What up, family? We are in the town of Leicester, Massachusetts, here at one of our condo flips. Not a lot of people are big on doing condos, but I actually like them for the way that the market's going here in 2025. I'm going to dig into that by the end of this video so you know why I think condo flips are at play right now. But before we go ahead and do that, let's go check out the minimal renovations that we did here to get this thing off our books quick. Let's go. All right, so as you guys can see, we really didn't do too much to this property. You're probably like, Mike, look at the kitchen, bro. What the heck did you do? We really didn't do too much. We painted the walls. So as you can see, painted this nice gray. There was some drywall repair that was needed. So our guy went in here and just patched a couple of the drywall repairs and then painted all the walls gray, which makes it pop a little bit more. And we redid the trim. Just to make it appease to the eye a little bit more. But here's the goal. This is more of a wholesale. A wholesale is when you close on a property and do bare minimal work and just put it back up on the market. We put about $7,000 worth of repairs into this property so that we could just get it off our books as fast as possible. And that's what we did here. The cool thing about that is we get to give a decent product to the market at an affordable price where people are hurting right now. So we're able to put this thing on the market at a much lower price than most of the condos that are in the area right now. So that one, it gets off fast, but two, we're able to give somebody an affordable house that they own, which I think is really cool. So that's what we did in the kitchen so far. Actually, one more thing when it comes to that. The reason why we do the minimal work is obviously so that we can make sure that our profits are good. But two, we just got to do enough work so that the conventional loan that the retail buyer is going to have passes. So that's the goal here. We come into the property with our contract and we say, hey, we just got to make sure that this place pops, put it back together to a point so that the bank comes in and they say, hey, I would approve a loan on this property. And that's what we did here. And we started here in the kitchen just by doing the paint. All right, so I think the best thing that we did to this entire house was rip up the ugly carpet that was going up these stairs and in the hallway up here. Thanks to my wife, because my wife is like, listen, we have to do that. I was like, dude, we can just have somebody clean it. But my wife was like, no, trust me, let's just do it. So it made this pop a little bit more. Along with that, we painted these balusters, finished the hardwoods that were under the carpet, which was the reason why I green lighted it, because I didn't want to rip up the carpets. But once my contractor was like, oh, bro, there's hardwoods under here. All we have to do is sand it and refinish it, and it's going to look great. And I'm like, all right, great, let's just do that. So he did that, painted the back part of these stairs, painted the balusters, painted the railings, and it looks pretty good. And then you'll see what we did upstairs as well. So upstairs, main thing we did here was replace this flooring. There was carpet up here too, I believe, and we just put LVP throughout. Super cheap. I think it cost us like $600 for the materials and the labor, which was fine. And then we replaced the balusters over here as well. They were all broken and some of them were just missing. So we did that, and it makes this hallway pop a little bit more. On top of that, we painted everything up here. And actually, besides the stairs, one of the biggest things that we did, which saved us a ton of money, was if you check this out, these doors look fairly new. Though the doorknob doesn't look too new, but the actual doors itself look like they're in good shape. The doors that were here before were terrible. Like there were cracks almost this big throughout the entire door. So my contractor was like, hey, listen, we can actually save the door. We'll put some filler in the door and we'll just paint everything white. We'll sand it down and then paint it. So that saved us a good, each door is probably, maybe $500. That saved us a good, maybe $3,000, including some doors downstairs that I think that we did, which is good. So the goal on these hotels is to save as much money as possible, put as much work into the property as possible, but still give a good enough product for somebody to live here. And on top of that, give them an affordable product. So one of the major things that we did, not only was the stairs and the flooring here, but we painted the entire interior of the house, as you guys can see. The reason why we did that is because the buyer, which isn't the buyer right now, but the buyer that we thought might come in was an FHA buyer. And in order to approve an FHA loan, You got to make sure that there's no chipped paint going on throughout the entire walls. So our contractor went in, filled everything, and sanded it and repainted so that we can get approved for the loan, because that's the biggest thing. So why do I think that condos are the play in 2025? Well, the market is shifting. There's war going on. People who don't know what the heck is going on with their day jobs, and they're like, I don't really even want to buy a house because I can't afford it, but I still want to buy a house because I'm sick of renting and rent is still so high. So what do I think? I think putting condos on the market at a very affordable price where people can get home ownership, for one, which I think is very important, and for two, be able to afford their payments and live comfortably. I think that's the play. Affordable housing is the play in 2025. Whether you're flipping condos or doing RV parks or doing Section 8, whatever is affordable, people need in markets like this. Affordable is always going to win. So if you can get yourself into a good condo deal, I suggest running the numbers and seeing if you can make it make sense by just putting bare minimal amount of work in and putting it back up on the market. If you can, you got yourself a deal. And here's the funny part. We were actually going to wholesale this condo. We had it under contract twice with two different buyers. Both of them ended up backing out. So we ended up terminating with the seller. And I was like, hey, seller, sorry. Our investor didn't want to do the deal anymore. Here's your earnest money deposit. Just put the property on the market and you'll get your offer. And she was like, all right, whatever, it is what it is. So what she did is she went back to another buyer that she was talking to before us, and they tried doing the deal. And they didn't want to do the deal. So the seller ends up calling us back and says, hey, I feel so bad. I should have just asked you guys if you wanted the property at a different price, and went ahead and went with you guys if you guys could do it at a different price. And I'm like, well, what is that different price? She told me a different price. And I'm like, numbers are still kind of tight, but I can put it back out to the investors and see what happened. So we put it back out to the investors, weren't able to get it done. And I was just like, you know what? I think this is a deal. I ran everything, all the paperwork for the condo association and all the condo docs by my attorney. I'm like, hey, if we purchase this thing and immediately resell it, are we going to have a problem with the condo docs? Which was one of the main reasons why our other investors wanted to back out. And my attorney's like, nah, you guys will be fine. Like, these condo docs are fine. I think a conventional buyer is going to come in here and buy this, no problem. So I'm like, dude, these numbers work. So I tell the lady, I'm like, you know what? We're just going to purchase it ourselves and then flip it. She's like, fine, that's fine with me. That's the deal. So as I was just leaving the property, I was like, dang, I forgot to mention some things. So as Tesla drives, I'll let you know what I forgot to mention. So first things first, everybody's like, what are the numbers? What did you buy this thing for? How much work did you put into it? What did you sell it for? What's the net profit? So we put, we wholesaled this deal to ourselves. So my acquisitions company is called Silver Homes. I run that. I'm the only owner on that. And me and my wife own a whole nother business that's our flipping company. So me and my wife bought this flip from our acquisitions company. So my acquisitions company got like a $10,000 assignment fee. So my acquisitions team who found the deal could get their commission and everything. Then me and my wife take it down. After the assignment fee, we were all in $175,000. We put $7,000 into the property and we sold it for $260,000. After the interest and stuff and all closing fees, we're gonna walk away with about $50,000 net in our pocket. So this is a deal that everybody was gonna say no to. Like, two people were under contract to buy the property and they backed out. And now we are set to close in the next 3 days. I'm actually not gonna have the team post this until we officially close. So if you're watching this right now, that means that we have officially closed. And then there was one other thing. This never happened to me before in my entire life. As we're like 2 weeks out from the close, the seller calls me back and is out of the blue and is like, hey, so like, I want to do something. Everybody's kind of mad at me for doing this, but I really want to do something for you guys. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, I want to cut the price down by $10,000. And I'm like, you don't have to do that. You don't have to cut the price up. Like, we're going to close on it. And she's like, no, I insist. I really want to cut the price down. Like, you guys have been such a good company to work with. You guys tried your butts off to get the deal done and have done everything you could possibly do to make sure that this transaction gets done. So I want to reward you for that. And I also want to make sure that the deal gets done. So I almost said no to it. I was almost like, no, we're sticking with the price. But I was like, you know what? Maybe God's giving me a layup. Here's an extra $10,000. So I'm going to take the blessing. So we cut the price by $10,000 like 2 weeks before the close. You know, it's kind of funny. We actually wholesaled that house too. That was a few weeks back. No, I mean, a few months back. So yeah, that never happened to me in my entire career of wholesaling. A seller calling me and saying, hey, I want less money. And you know what? It has a lot to do with the fact that the first time we were under contract, we just let them take our earnest money. That's honorable. Honor your contract. Honor what you have said to do. If you can't perform or for whatever reason, even if you're buying a deal from a wholesaler, give the wholesaler your fee, your earnest money. That's the honorable thing to do. If you want to do deals like this, whether you want to sell a deal to us, because we are cash buyers, not only do we wholesale, but we also buy properties in cash like this. So if you have deals that you're working that you want to sell to us, go to wholesalewithmike.com, where we do a monthly Zoom every month and we just hang out. If you guys are agents and have properties that you want to refer to us and maybe we can help you list on the back end, same deal. Let's just get at wholesalewithmike.com and go do business together. Peace.